So today's topic is normal distribution. So far we discussed about two discrete probability distributions, which are binomial and Poisson distributions. Okay. Today we'll see the third distribution, which is a special probability distribution called normal distribution. Okay. So how this is defined and when this occurs, let us see. Okay. So all of you write down the notes, copy new notes. Okay, a random variable. Now, normal distribution is related to continuous random variable. Okay, so a continuous random variable x is said to be a normal random variable PDF. What do you mean by PDF?
Sir, we can't see your screen, sir.
Okay. I forgot to share the screen, it seems. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. So a continuous random variable x is said to be a normal random variable if it's a PDF. What do you mean by PDF?
Probability density function.
Probability density function is given by there are different notations for it. What is the actual notation? F of x, okay, equal to phi of mu comma sigma of x. What are mu and sigma? They are just parameters at present. Mu and sigma are just parameters. What are those actually? I'll tell you later. At present, mu and sigma are two parameters, but that means some constants. Okay, so you are defining the function for each value of x. Okay, equal to 1 by sigma root 2 pi e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square, where x varies from minus infinity to infinity, where x varies from minus infinity to infinity. Whenever the density function of a random variable, whenever the density function of a random variable is defined like this for some parameters mu and sigma, then the random variable, the continuous random variable x is said to be a normal random variable. Okay, so in that case we say, x is distributed normally with mu and sigma. X is distributed, this is how we read, x is distributed normally with mu and sigma. Okay, so what is a special case? Let us see the special case later. Before that, so when I say it is a PDF, what are the two properties you have to check? What are the two properties of a density function, probability density function?
F of x is all greater than.
F of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all x. Is this true for this case, for this function? Can you say that f of x is always positive?
No, sir.
No? Can exponential function be negative?
No, sir.
No,
Exponential
sir.
function can never be negative. Exponential function is always positive, no? And sigma is positive. This is positive. So everything is positive. In fact, f of x is a positive for all greater than 0. It can never be 0. When I say f of x greater than 0, can I say that f of x greater than or equal to 0? Is this true or not?
In case of continuous, it is
See, let me ask a question like this. You know 2 greater than 0. Agreed?
yes, sir.
Can you say that 2 greater than or equal to 0?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hmm? MFCS started like true logical operators, you know, conjunction, disjunction, implication, by implication. You all learnt about that, no? What do you mean by 2 greater than or equal to 0? 2 greater than 0 or 2 equal to 0. Is 2 greater than 0 true or false?
True.
True.
True. Okay. Or 2 equal to 0?
False.
False.
What is the true or false gives?
True.
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 So whenever 2 greater than 0, I can always say that 2 greater than or equal to 0. Do you
Yes,
agree or
sir.
not? Okay. So it is in that sense. It is in that sense. Okay. So whenever f of x greater, I know that p f of x is greater than 0. Therefore, it is also satisfied that f of x is greater than or equal to 0. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now, so this is clear. This is just by looking at the exponential function, you can clearly say that it is satisfying the first property. What should be the second property of the PDF?
Integral minus infinity to x.
Integral minus infinity to infinity. Total integration. No, total integration means what? Minus infinity to plus infinity.
F of x
dx
equals to 1.
must be 1. So what do you mean by f of x here? 1 by sigma root 2 pi is constant. Minus infinity to infinity. E power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square. Dx must be 1. I wanted you to check this fact. Okay. Okay. Because because you are very good at integration, because so far from intermediate to first year you have done good amount of work on integration. Okay, so you just show that or you just verify that this integration is equal to 1. In exams you may be asked to show this result. Okay, so I wanted you to, okay, find out this. I want to know your integration skills. Okay, so otherwise we'll see later. At present I want you to do this problem. Okay, so this is a homework. Okay, take this as a homework. Show that the total integration is 1. So then what will be the area? Okay, then how do we find out the probability? Okay, probability that x1 less than x1 less than x less than x2. How do we find out? x1 to x2
x1 to x.
f of x dx. Am I right? So what is f of x? You just substitute the PDF 1 by sigma root 2 pi minus infinity to infinity. Okay, e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square dx. So if you want to find out the probability that a normal random variable is in between two values x1 and x2, you simply find out the different integral of the density function. Whatever the value you get, that is going to be the probability value. Okay, so this is all about a normal random variable and its density function. Okay, now because it is a function, naturally we want to visualize the graph of this function, because it is continuously defined from minus infinity to infinity. So every function defined on an interval will have a graph. Okay, will have a graph. If it is continuous, there will be no break. If it is continuous, there will be no break on the graph of the function. Do you say that this function is continuous function? Is this a continuous function? How do you say that this is a continuous function? Density function. What you say? Don't you know the property of exponential function? Exponential function is always continuous, no? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And x minus mu by whole square is a polynomial. Polynomial is a continuous function, and this is composition of two continuous function. F of x is e power x, g of x is x minus mu by sigma whole square into minus 1 by 2, and f of g of x, it is composition of two continuous functions. Composition of two continuous functions is a continuous function. Am I right? And continuous function multiplied with constant is also continuous function. Therefore, you can expect the graph of this. Continuous function is a curve without any break. So how that curve look like? Okay, how the curve look like? Okay, so we would like to see that one. Graph of normal distribution. Okay, normal distribution. Okay, or the graph of normal distribution, we call it as normal curve. The graph of this normal distribution, we call it as normal curve. How this graph look like? It will look like this. Okay, now from this graph we try to extract some features on the graph, features of this normal distribution. Okay, now what is your first observation by looking at this graph? This is the graph of f of x. graph of f of x. This graph of f of x, we are calling it as normal curve. So we are trying to understand the properties of this normal curve. We are trying to understand the properties of this normal curve. How the shape of this normal curve looks like. Is it not looking like a bell? Is it not looking like a bell?
Yes, sir.
So therefore you can also call this as bell curve. You can also call it as a bell curve. So the first property is it is in the shape of a bell curve, or it is a bell-shaped curve. That is the first property. What are the other features you are seeing?
Value of x increases, f of x decreases.
Bell-shaped. What is the next one? Increases
X
and
value.
then increases a certain stress, then decreases.
Decreasing.
See, by looking at any graph, what you have to look at first?
Symmetric.
Symmetry. It is symmetric, right? It is symmetric. It is symmetric about what line?
Y-axis.
Y-axis.
Did I label x-axis and y-axis? I didn't label it as x-axis and y-axis, no? Right?
Then vertical
So
line.
it is symmetric about a line. It is symmetric about a line. What is that line is? X equal to mu.
About a mean.
It is symmetric about mean. It is symmetric about a mean. Okay. That is the second feature. Okay. Symmetric about mean. So what is that mean? Mean can be positive or negative or zero. Okay, I am not telling that mean is always positive. So mean is positive means zero may be here. Okay, mean is negative means zero may be here. Okay, so the values are ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity, but the graph is somewhere here. Okay, what are the other features you see? Can you tell? I can list out all the properties, but I want you to identify and observe the properties. What will be the area under this normal curve? What will be the area under the normal curve? How much the area will be then?
0.
1.
0. The total area must be 1, no?
1.
Why? Because it is a density function. We know integration of a
Integration of
density
minus
function equal to 1.
infinity.
Total integration must be 1. That I ask you to verify. In fact, it is true. So geometrical integration is nothing but the area bounded by the curve and the x-axis, right? Okay. So the total area under the normal curve is 1 unity. Area under the normal curve is unity. What else you can observe? Is this curve touching the x-axis?
No.
No.
No, it will never touch
No.
the x-axis, because you can see the basic nature of the function. It is an exponential function. Exponential function can never be 0 for any value of x. Is it okay? Therefore, as x tends to infinity, it almost looks like 0, but it will never be 0. Right? Therefore, what is x-axis? X-axis will be an asymptote. Right? X-axis is an asymptote. X-axis is an asymptote. Next. Can you extract some more features? What could be the median? What do you mean by median?
Equal to mean.
Yes, very good. It is equal to mean. What do you mean by median? Median is the middle value of the data. Median is the middle value. These are the data values. Okay, and so for a continuous random variable, median is a point which divides the total area into two equal halves. Median is a point, okay, at which the total area will be divided into two equal halves. And we know the curve is symmetric about mean. Therefore, at mean, there is an equal amount of area on left side and right side. Therefore, naturally, median is also equal to mu. So, median equal to mean. What could be mode? What do you mean by mode?
Most occurring.
For a discrete data, highest frequency, the value with highest frequency, right? For a continuous probability distribution, where there is a local maximum, where there are local maximums, they are the modes. If there is only one local maximum, that is called unimodal. If there are two local maximums or three local maximums, that is called multimodal. So, is this unimodal data or multimodal data? Unimodal.
Unimodal.
So where the maximum occurring? Where you are seeing the maximum? Local maximum.
At mean.
At mean. Therefore, for a normal distribution, mean equal to median equal to mode. Okay. So it is unimodal. There is no. Okay. So it is unimodal. Next point is mean equal to median equal to mode. Is that okay? What else? What else you can understand? You can identify. Can you identify some more?
Maximum value is mean.
Maximum value occurs at mean. That's what we are telling. No, what is that? Maximum value means f of mu. When you substitute mu in f, that you will get the maximum value. Now, can you see the shape of this curve? How this shape look like? Is the shape uniform throughout, or the shape is changing? Is the shape changing, or is the shape is same throughout? Same. You know about concavity? Do you know about concavity of a curve? Concave upward, concave downward. How concave upward curve looks like? It will be like this, right? What will a concave downward curve looks like? Like this. Inverted U shape. Inverted U shape is a concave downward. U shape is a concave upward shape. You understand? So whenever how do you judge the concavity by from the function? What is a mathematical condition to check the concavity? You remember? Second derivative test. If f double dash of x is less than 0, you will have concave downward shape. If double dash of x is greater than 0, you will have concave upward shape. That's why we are telling maxima, local maxima and local minima. No? If the second derivative at the stationary point is negative, we say it is having local maximum. And the second derivative at a point is positive, we say it is having the local minimum. Do you agree? So now tell the concavity of this curve. Is the concavity same throughout the graph, or is the concavity changing?
Changing.
Where? Can you see what is this initially when I'm starting from here, what is this concavity? Concave upward or downward?
Down.
Downward. And when I'm going like this, now what is this stress? What kind of
Upward.
upward? So there is a point on the curve where the concavity changes, right? So there is a point on the curve where the concavity changes. Okay. So the curve is changing its direction from concave downward to upward or downward upward to downward. Okay. So what is that point called? Where the concavity changes. The point is called
Point of inflection.
point of inflection. Correct. Because second derivative to negative second derivative to positive second derivative means it has to pass through zero, no? Right. So where the second derivative is zero, that is called point of inflection. So it has inflection points. It has inflection points at a, it has inflection points on the curve. Okay. What are these inflection points? Where are these inflection points? Inflection points will be here. Mu plus sigma and mu minus sigma. Mu plus sigma and mu minus sigma. Okay. So what are these points called? Points of inflection. Okay. So next property is inflection points. Can you please mute? Mu plus or minus sigma.
ఇంకోటి నువ్వు ఎప్పుడైతే మార్చినప్పుడే శాశ్వతకి వెళ్ళి 7 కొడతారు కదా అలా కొట్టు ఒకవేళ అనుకోకుండా వేపిన కనుక లేట్ అయితే కూడా సర్వర్స్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ కాకుండా ఉంటాయి.
Okay. So inflection points are at mu plus sigma and mu minus sigma. Anything else you can extract from this? Okay. So these are the some of the important properties of this normal curve. These are the some of the properties of this normal curve. Okay. Now like this mu plus sigma, mu minus sigma, I can draw two more lines. Mu plus 2 sigma, mu minus 2 sigma, mu plus 3 sigma, mu minus 3 sigma. Okay. Okay. So we can tell how much percentage of the area is in between mu plus sigma, mu minus sigma, mu plus 2 sigma, mu minus sigma. Okay. That I will show in the next page. Can I proceed? So what are these? These are the properties. You may put this heading. You may say that properties of normal curve. Put this heading as properties of normal curve. Okay. Now, how much area it is going to cover? Okay. Okay, as you can see now. Okay, so 68.2 percentage of the area is in between mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma, and almost 95% of the area is in between mu minus 2 sigma to mu plus 2 sigma. Okay, almost 99.99% of the area is in between mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma. Okay, so most of the area, almost 99.99% of the area is in between mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma. Okay, so this is all about normal curve. Now the next question is, how many normal curves, how many such normal curves will exist? Can you tell me? How many normal curves will exist? How the normal curve is obtained? Normal curve is obtained through this definition, right? Okay. So this is depending on the parameters mu and sigma. Mu can be 4, sigma can be 1, mu can be 2, sigma can be 3, mu can be -3, sigma can be 4. Do you agree? So for each pair of mu and sigma, you can have a normal curve. So when I am changing the when I am giving different values to mu and sigma, I am getting different normal curves. So that means how many normal curves will exist? Infinite. So there will be infinitely many normal curves. Okay. So I would like to show those graphs graphically. Those through a applet. Okay. There is a. I will share this link later in WhatsApp. Just see. Are you able to see? All of you are able to see? So for mu equal to 4.84 and sigma equal to 1.53, this is the normal curve. Okay. So when I try to change the mu value, it is shifting. The graph is just shifting, right? But if I change the standard deviation, see, can you see this? When I change the standard deviation, spread is narrow, spread is becoming less, right? So lesser the standard deviation value, height of the curve will be more. Okay. Larger the standard deviation, spread of the data will be more. Okay. So for lesser standard deviation, spread is less. For larger standard deviation, spread is more. And I can have several. See, origin is here, and I can have infinitely many number of normal curves for different values of mu and sigma. Is that clear? Now, can you see a light graph here? Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is a normal curve with mean 0 and standard deviation 1, because mu plus sigma and mu minus sigma, right? This normal curve is called standard normal curve. This normal curve is called standard normal curve. Okay. So if the probability density function with mean 0 and standard deviation 1 is said to be standard normal curve. Okay. So let me change to here. Okay. I'm trying to bring it to standard normal curve. Not able to track properly. Right. Almost. Okay. So standard normal curve will be like this. Okay. So for different values of mu and sigma, you can have infinitely many normal curves, in which a special case of the normal curve we call it as a standard normal curve. Okay. So write that as a note. Okay. So if mu equal to 0 and standard deviation is 1, okay, or I will write like this. You write like this: the standard deviation, the normal distribution with the mean 0 and standard deviation 1 is said to be the standard normal distribution. And its graph is said to be the standard normal curve. And its graph is said to be the standard normal curve. Now, what is the use of the standard normal curve? Why I'm talking about standard normal distribution? And how do we say this? We say that, so whenever I can, standard normal distribution will be like this. N of 0, 1. N of 0, 1. Okay. Now I said, if we want to compute the probability, how do we compute the probability? X1 less than x less than x. X2 can be computed like this. Integral x1 to x2. Integral x1 to x2 f of x dx. I said previously, I wrote it. So this is 1 by sigma root 2 pi integral x1 to x2 e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square dx. So that means if you want to use this formula every time, you need to integrate, and it's not so easy. If you see, every time integration means we don't like it, right? So like binomial distribution and Poisson distribution, if you have a table to find out the probabilities, what we want is the probability, but unfortunately probability is given in the form of a integration. Okay, that may be quite difficult to do. So if you have a table like Poisson distribution, like binomial distribution, if you have a normal distribution, by looking at the table we can copy the values and say. But what is the problem with normal table? I said infinitely many normal curves are there, so correspondingly there will be infinitely many normal tables. Okay, so for different values of mu and sigma, you need to find out, identify a normal table, which is quite difficult. Is that okay? So creating or generating normal tables for every normal curve is not possible. So what we can do in that case, we standardize the random variable. We transform the normal random variable into a standard random variable. Okay. Then you write down the distribution of the write down the table of the standard normal distribution, and that probability is going to give the normal probability. Okay. So what I am telling is, you take a transformation like this. You take a transformation like this. You take, let us say z equal to x minus, sorry, x minus mu by sigma. I am taking a transformation like this, x minus mu by sigma. Okay. So what is dz then when I change the variables? Dz equal to dx, because mu and sigma are constants. Okay. Then what will be when x equal to x1? Then what will be when you substitute x equal to x1? Then what will be z value? x1 minus mu by sigma. Call it as z1. When x equal to x2, what will be z value? x2 minus mu by sigma. Call it as z2. Call it as z2. Okay. Then what? I think did I made any mistake? What is dz?
Yes,
1 by sigma is constant, no?
1 by sigma dx.
So it has to be 1 by sigma into dx. I agree. Okay. Then what will be this integration then? Okay. Therefore, probability that x1 less than x less than x2 equal to, okay, this x1 to x2 becomes 1 by sigma root 2 pi z1 to z2 e power minus 1 by 2 into, what is x minus mu by sigma? I consider this whole x minus mu by sigma as z. So minus z square. What is dx? Sigma d is dx will be, no, you cross
1 by
multiply.
sigma.
Dx will be sigma dz.
Sigma.
Cross multiply. Sigma dz. Do you agree? So sigma gets cancelled. What is remaining is 1 by root 2 pi. 1 by root 2 pi from z1 to z2 e power minus z square dz. 1 by sigma root 2 pi z1 to z2 e power minus z square dz. This is nothing but probability that z1 less than z2. Can you identify that this z is also a normal random variable? Do you identify that this z is also a normal random variable? Why am I able to say this? What is its distribution function? When I say this is a normal random variable, what is its distribution function? Whatever you see as the
Exponent.
integrand, whatever you see in the integrand. Okay, integrand is where the PDF of z equal to, let me call it as some g of z equal to 1 by root 2 pi into e power minus z square. Is it not the density function of a normal random variable? Is it not the density function of a normal random variable? With mean and variance is how standard deviation is how much? See here, if mean equal to 0 and variance is 1 by sigma. Sigma is what? Sigma is 1 by root 2 pi e power minus 1 by 2 into
By 2
mu.
z.
Mu is 0, sigma is 1 by 2 into x
X
square.
square.
Minus infinity less than x less than infinity. This is the density function of a standard normal distribution. This is the density function of a standard normal distribution or standard normal random variable. Is that okay? Now, is it not the function you are seeing here? The same function you are seeing, instead of x, you are having z only. Is that okay? So, it is, if you want to find out the normal probability, just find out the corresponding standard normal probability. Just find out the corresponding standard normal probability. And how do you find out this? We don't find out through this integration. There is a table. Fortunately, we have a distribution table for the standard normal distribution. That is called standard normal table. That is what I have shared yesterday to you. Okay. By looking at that standard normal distribution, we just copy the values. Without actually integrating. Is that okay? So this is about finding the probability of a normal random variable. Okay, we don't find out the probability directly. Okay, these values are called z scores. These values are called z scores. Okay, so these values are called z scores. Problem with writing. Z scores. Okay. So we convert the values into z scores. And we look at the we'll transform the normal probability into standard normal probability, and by looking at the standard normal distribution like this, we are going to find out the probability. Okay, we are going to find out the probability. Okay, now I will show you how to find out this normal probability. Okay. So, shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before that, I would like to mention about expectation and variance. Okay. So what is expectation?
Mean or average.
E of x equal to, what is the notation? Mu.
Mhm.
And this is a notation for expectation, and the same notation I used as a parameter in the normal distribution. You remember? So this formula for is minus infinity to infinity x into f of x dx. What is f of x here? 1 by sigma root 2 pi
A power minus 1 by
e power minus infinity e power minus infinity x into e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square dx. Okay, again one more exercise. I want you to show that this total integration, you just integrate by substitution method or anything, whatever the skill you have, whatever the technique you have, you apply that and show that finally that integration is equal to mu. What is this mu I'm talking about? This mu is nothing but whatever you wrote here, the parameter mu. This whole simplification is turning out to be this mu. That means the expectation of a normal random variable is going to be the parameter mu. Is going to be the parameter mu. Okay, of a normal distribution. Okay. Anyway, I am going to derive this, but before that, I want you to try once. Okay. So similarly, what is the formula for variance?
X square into
E of x minus
Expectation of x minus mu whole square. Expectation of x minus mu whole square. But what is the formula for it?
E of x
E
square
of x square minus
minus
E
E
of
of
x
x whole
whole
square.
square. Okay. So just now I asked you to show that expectation is nothing but mu. So this is nothing but E of x square minus mu square. Okay. What is the definition of E of x square?
X square.
Square into f of integral.
Integrate minus infinity x square into 1 by sigma root 2 pi e power sorry, I'll just write f of x. Okay, x square into f of x dx, and which is equal to 1 by sigma root 2 pi minus infinity x square into e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square dx. Okay, and you get some expression for this and substitute in the original formula. Finally show that expectation of variance of x. Okay, variance of x is equal to e of x square minus mu square equal to sigma square. What is the sigma I am talking about? Whatever the parameter I used here, okay, that this simplification should give this symbol sigma square, parameter square. Okay, so under root of variance is going to be the standard deviation. So sigma, whatever the symbol sigma we are using, that is actually is going to be the standard deviation of the normal random variable. Okay, so totally 3 integration tasks are there. Okay, what are the 3 integration tasks? First one is you have to show that the total integration is 1. Second one is mean has to be mu. Third one you have to show that variance is sigma square, and hence standard deviation is sigma. Okay, so try to, so you have 3 more days, right? So in these 3 days you try to evaluate these integration and see whether you are getting the required result or not. Okay, now the point is, now the next point is how to compute the probabilities, normal probabilities. Okay, so before that okay, standardization. What do you mean by standardization of the a normal random variable? Standardization of a normal random variable. Okay, so what I'm telling is, when you have a let x be a normal random variable. Okay, let x be a normal random variable. Okay, so if you take a substitution like this, okay, with mean, what is the formula for the mean? Mean is actually denoted with e of x, no, but some others write it as x bar. X bar is also nothing but mean of x. Please remember this. Many books use this notation, x bar. Okay, equal to mu and standard deviation sigma. Okay, let z equal to capital X minus mu by sigma. Okay, be a random variable. Okay, now what will be this random variable? What will be this random variable? What is the I have using this x I created another random variable. Okay, and it is just a transformation. You see, I transformed x to x minus mu and I'm scaling with sigma. So that means the basic shape of the curve is not going to change. Either it will shift to right side or left side, either it will shrink or expand. Therefore, whatever the graph you see, the PDF for the this new random variable is also a follows a normal distribution. Okay. Therefore, instead of calling it as a random variable, I can easily call it as a normal random variable, because it also follows normal distribution. Now for this normal distribution, what will be the expectation and variance? What is expectation of z? What is z? X minus mu by sigma. Okay, and you know the properties of expectation. Constants can be taken out. Okay, and this is nothing but 1 by sigma into expectation of x minus mu. But what is expectation of x? Mu. Zero. So what is E of z? 0. So what is variance? What is variance of z? Variance of z is variance of x minus mu by sigma. You remember variance of kx? Variance of kx, I shown k square into variance of x. Remember? Therefore, I can write it as 1 by sigma square into variance of x minus mu. And I also have shown that variance of x plus constant is variance of x. Therefore, this is nothing but 1 by sigma square into variance of x. And what is variance of x? Sigma square. Sigma square by sigma square is 1. So from this, what kind of random variable it is?
Standard.
Yes, that is a standard random variable. Therefore, for the normal random variable Z is having mean 0 and variance 1, and hence Z is a standard normal random variable. That is a standard normal random variable. Okay. So so with this transformation, this normal. So once you have a standard normal random variable, we compute the normal probabilities. Okay. So whenever see P of x1 less than x less than x2 can be written as probability of x1 minus mu less than x less than x x minus mu less than x2 minus mu. Okay, I just added minus mu on both sides on each equation and divided with sigma, which is equal to x1 minus mu by sigma less than x minus mu by sigma is less than x2 minus mu by sigma. Can you identify each one?
Z1,
Z1 less than
Z,
Z less than
Z2.
Z2. What is Z? Just now we have seen Z is nothing but the standard normal random variable. Standard normal random variable. Okay. So whatever the normal probability, instead of if you want to find out the normal probability, it is sufficient to find out the standard normal probability. It is sufficient to find out the standard normal probability. Is this clear? So that is all about normal distribution and properties of normal distribution and standard normal random variable and its use. Okay. So we use standard normal random variable to find out the probabilities. Now in the next class I will show you how to compute the normal probabilities using the standard normal curve. Okay. I require one more class. Time may not be sufficient now. We have to discuss slowly in detail to identify the normal probability. Remember, statistics purely depends upon this we will be heavily using this normal distribution. Okay, so you should be very good at finding the normal probabilities. Okay, this lays a very good foundation. Okay, for your upcoming course of statistics. Okay. So whether it is probability or statistics, normal distribution plays very important role, because most of the distributions, whether it is a discrete probability distribution or continuous probability distribution, they almost look like or they tend to follow normal distribution. Okay, so people will assume that the data is normally distributed. Most of the modeling problems, statistical modeling, they do with the assumption that the data is normally distributed. Okay, whether the data is really normally distributed or not, there are some more tests. Okay, that is beyond the scope of our discussion. There are some tests to decide the normality of the data. If the data is having normality, then all the rest of the theory will follow. With that assumption of the normality, then they will do statistical modeling based on the by using the normal distribution. Okay, so it plays a very important role, key role. Okay, so if possible, okay, if you can give me one class tomorrow, okay, like as we did in previous weeks, through 3 o'clock, if you can sit, okay, then continuity will be there. Okay, we'll see. At present I'm stopping the class. What is this? Let me take the attendance.